So UFC 328 is among us. Hamza Chimaev versus Sean Strickland, and it's going to be a banger. This entire card is a banger. Now I'm going to go through this entire card with you, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main card, giving you my honest predictions about every single fight and who I think is going to win and how they're going to win. Now, Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa is the first fight, and I think Jose Ochoa is going to dominate this fight. I really do. I think he's the way better striker. He hits way harder. He might even put Clayton Carpenter out. He might get him out of there. I just think we all understand what Clayton Carpenter's game plan is. He wants to take you to the ground. He wants to dominate you on the ground, but I don't think he's going to be able to get Jose on the ground. I think the UFC tried to push Clayton Carpenter too quickly. They gave him Tygir Ulanbekov and Rafael Filio, and he got dominated by both guys. Now, Jose Ochoa, he had a great performance versus Cody Durden, knocked him out, had a pretty good performance versus Asu. He didn't allow himself to go down to the ground. He was keeping it he was basically keeping it on the feet most of the fight and was defending a lot of submission threats. And showing his own submission threat as well. When he got taken down by Cody Durden and Asu, he was throwing elbows from the ground. He was throwing submissions from the ground, from his back. He is an incredible fighter. He's a well-rounded fighter. And also, he's an incredible striker. Look at his fight versus Loner Kavanaugh. He almost got Loner Kavanaugh out of there in the second round. He did an amazing job. And I just don't think Clayton Carpenter is on the level of Cody Durden, Loner Kavanaugh, Asu. I just don't think so. I really don't even think that he's that good or good at all. So give me Jose Ochoa. But next fight up the card, Sanger Sirsaikaev versus the Jordan Santos. Now I'm gonna go Sirsaikaev, and yeah, what a surprise. But Sirsaikaev is an incredible fighter, man. He has great pressure game. He's great on the counter, on the back foot. He can counter you. He has great body shots, body kicks, great teeps. He has great wrestling. He's able to judo throw you. And I think that this is a step down for him. I think that Eric McConaughey is better than the Jordan Santos. I do. And I think that the Jordan Santos is a big step down. All he has is a 1-2, maybe a hook, maybe a head kick, but not too much. He doesn't really use it. And ever since he got into the UFC, there's no power there. He's not really like throwing any power with his punches. We're not seeing his grappling game. I just don't see him beating Sirsaikaev anywhere, on the feet, on the ground, in the grappling, in the clinch. I like, you know what I'm saying? But next fight up the card, Pat Sabatini versus William Gomez. And I think I'm going to go Pat Sabatini for the pure fact that we saw William Gomez fade out versus Haider Emil. And Haider is not a grappler. He's not a grappler, but he was grappling William Gomez, which tired him out in the second and third round. And I think Pat Sabatini is a consistent grappler. He's going to consistently try to grapple you from the first round to the third round. And I think that's going to break William Gomez. He's going to get tired. Even though he is a pretty good and technical fighter, I still think that Pat Sabatini could continuously get him to the ground and just break him. But mind you, this is one of my picks that I'm not OD confident, because I can also see William Gomez defending the takedowns and beating him up on the feet. Because what I think is that he got robbed by Haider Emil. He should be on a 3-5 winning streak. Well, actually not 3-5 winning streak. He should be on more. What the fuck? He should be like on a 10-5 winning streak. But I think he got robbed by Haider Emil. I really do. Now, moving forward, Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. And you can't really trust anybody who lost to Paulo Costa. And I understand Paulo Costa is a good fighter. He does very well against southpaws, but you still can't trust a guy who lost to Paulo Costa. What I think is that Marco Tulio is the better striker. He's slicker, he moves a lot, and he's more active on the feet. Roman Kopylov is not as active at all. Like, we know he's a patient fighter. We all know he's a patient fighter. And if not a little too patient for my liking, he's going to let rounds slip away and just lose. And I believe that's what he's going to do against Marco Tulio. But we haven't seen too much about Marco Tulio, so maybe be a little weary about this one, but that's my pick for the day. Now, moving forward onto the preliminary cards, not early prelims. Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. And yeah, of course, we have to go Jared Gordon, man. Jim Miller has been looking worse and worse and worse. He's 42 years old. And yes, Jared Gordon did lose his last fight, but it was against Rafa Garcia, who would beat the shit out of Jim Miller. He would beat the fuck out of Jim Miller. And Jim Miller was losing the striking battle versus Chase Hooper. I can't trust anybody losing a striking battle versus Chase Hooper. I can't. I don't think Jim Miller is going to be able to get this to the ground. And I think he's going to get pieced up on the feet. I just don't see any way that he wins this fight. Kind of the same thing that I think about when I look at Grant Dawson versus Mateus Rebecki. Because, man, Mateus literally got dominated by Diego Ferreira on the ground, on the feet. And Grant Dawson dominated the fuck out of Diego Ferreira on the ground. And I feel like Grant Dawson is a better grappler. We saw Rebecki get taken down and dominated on the ground and beat the fuck up on the ground. I believe Grant Dawson is going to be able to do the exact same thing. But Grant Dawson is the type of fighter to get clipped and put away, because I don't know why. He's kind of chinny, to be honest. And he sometimes he indulges in the striking to where he gets caught himself. But I don't think he's going to do that against Rebecki. I think he's going to immediately take Rebecki down and just consistently go for the grappling. And yeah, I just think he's better. I just think he's better than Rebecki. And we're about to see. We're about to see him. I just think that I think that Grant Dawson's going to dominate Rebecki. I really do. But next fight up the card, Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav. Now, I know that Joel Alvarez has looked better and better and better. But I'm gonna go Yaroslav, man. I am. I think that we literally seen Joel Alvarez get outgrappled by Drakkar Klose and taken to the ground. And I think Yaroslav is better than Drakkar Klose, especially at the grappling. And he's going to be able to continuously do that from round 1 to round 3. And I don't think that Joel Alvarez has any pop in his shots to scare Yaroslav. I don't think that he's that dangerous, like, in terms of his submission game. I don't think he's going to be able to wrap any submissions on Yaroslav. I just think Yaroslav is too good. Too good for Joel Alvarez, to be honest. But moving on to the next card. Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. And this is an easy one, but obviously it should be, because I'm pretty sure Ateba is like a -1,000, I think. -1,000 favorite. But yeah, Ateba by knockout. Ozzy Diaz is the type of fighter that you're going to give to knockout artists so they can knock him out. Like Joe Pyfer, like Xing Yang, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys, like, who already knocked out Ozzy Diaz. You know, those 3 losses are all knockouts by Ozzy Diaz. He's about to get a 4th, and it's going to be Gautier, literally the hardest hitter in this division, bro. This dude is a specimen, but I also don't think he's a great fighter. But this dude's strength is on a next level, bro. But going into the main cards, first fight of the main card, Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. And Jeremy Stephens has been in bare knuckle boxing for too long that I can't trust him to win a UFC fight, because in bare knuckle boxing, all he's doing is boxing with bare knuckles. In UFC, you have to worry about kicks, you have to worry about grappling, you have to worry about all that. And Jeremy Stephens has not been working on that because he's been doing so many, bare knuckle boxing matches. And Bobby Green has beaten better guys, like especially nowadays, like his Lance Gibson Jr., who knocked out what's his name, the curly hair dude, I forgot his name, bro. And Daniel Selhuber, he knocked out Daniel Selhuber, bro. King Green is probably gonna put it on Jeremy Stephens. Now, the one thing that I'll say is stay away from it still. Even though I do think that Bobby Green should put on a clinic, stay away from it just for the pure fact that Jeremy Stephens could easily put Bobby Green on the back fence and just land one shot. And against Bobby Green, all it takes is one shot. You see how many losses he has? All it takes is one fucking shot, bro. So let's move forward. Sean Brady versus and I'm gonna go Joaquin Buckley, bro. I'm gonna go Joaquin Buckley. I just think that, he said he was training with Usman. He's training his takedown defense with Usman. We saw the type of takedowns that it takes to get Joaquin Buckley down. And I think that the highest level grappler, Usman, is, the only reason Usman got him down is because he's one of the highest levels in grappling. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Sean Brady is. I think Joaquin Buckley is stronger. I think he hits harder. I think that we've seen Sean Brady wilt Literally wilt under the pressure and power of another dude. He literally did that against Michael Morales. And sure, people could say, oh, but Michael's like a top 5 contender. Okay, whatever. What about Bilal Muhammad? He was his first finish. If literally on the hands too. And we're talking about pillow fisted Bilal. You can't trust a guy who loses to Bilal. You can't. And I believe that Buckley is gonna be able to. I mean, we saw how his takedown defense improved, especially in the Kobe Covington fight. Not that it improved, but how good it looked in the Kobe Covington fight. It looked really good. And then training with a guy like Usman is only gonna improve it more. And I'm just coining the fact. I'm trying to go with the fact that Buckley is going to improve a lot more training with Usman. That's why I'm picking Buckley. But I could see people picking Sean Brady. That's why, in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight. Stay away from it. Don't put a single cent on it. But I am putting my prediction on Buckley. Now, Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Costa. And I'm going to go Volkov, bro. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think that this is a hard pick. Because just for the pure fact that Waldo Costa, the way he fights, he wants you to put the pressure on him. Because he wants to counter you. And wants to counter you with 1 or 2 shots. And then kind of move a little bit. And then counter you with another 1 or 2 shots. And I think if you want to beat Alexander Volkov, you have to pressure him. You have to pressure him. You have to go and knock him out. You have to make that effort to do it. Because this guy's too tall. He knows how to use his range. He's going to kick you from... He knows how to use his kicks. He's very well-rounded. He could take it to the ground. It doesn't matter, bro. This guy's super well-rounded. And still a great striker. And I don't think Waldo Costa has ever fought a guy on this level. Of course, yeah, he fought Pavlovich. But Pavlovich beat him. And I don't think that... And Pavlovich... And also Waldo Costa had a hard time finding that range on Pavlovich because of Pavlovich's reach. And Alexander Volkov is taller and longer in his reach, in the reach department. I just think that Volkov is too high level. Too many attributes going to him. And Waldo Costa is not aggressive enough. He doesn't try to go for the finish. This is likely going to be a Volkov unanimous decision masterclass. Next fight up the card. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. And I'm going to go Joshua Van. I know it's crazy. I don't know how many people are going to pick Joshua Van. But I just think that Joshua Van is a better Brandon Royval. I think he's a better Brandon Royval, to be honest. And we saw what Brandon Royval did to Tatsuro Taira. It was a close fight. Don't get me wrong. It was a close fight. But Brandon Royval definitely won that fight. And I think that Joshua Van is going to be able to defend the takedowns better. I think you don't want to stand with Joshua Van. This dude got powerful hands. And obviously, I don't think Tatsuro Taira could stand with Joshua Van, even if he wanted to. And I think Joshua Van is going to force him to keep it on the feet. We've seen Tatsuro Taira panic shoot before. And I think that Joshua Van's style, the fact that he's going to pressure. It bodes well against grapplers. It does. Like, grapplers, when they get pressured so heavily against the fence, they cannot shoot as much as they want to or as well as they want to. They want to pressure you so they could shoot on you. But if you're pressuring them, it's way harder for them to shoot on you and get that takedown. And Joshua Van, he's the best pressure fighter in this division. He really is, especially on the feet. And he's getting better and better, man, at his takedown defense. And we even saw it against the Cody Durden fight. And, man, you know how I feel about Cody Durden. This dude, Cody Durden's a beast. And Joshua Van's a beast, bro. I know Tatsuro Taira. This is a 50-50 fight, too. Stay away from it. But in my opinion, I'm going Joshua Van. Next fight up the card. Sean Strickland versus Hamza Chimaev. And honestly, I don't think anyone should be getting this wrong. I think Hamza Chimaev gets the finish here. I really do. I don't see Sean Strickland winning this whatsoever. I think that people are looking at his Hernandez fight and saying, oh, wow, he did amazing. But then they're ignoring the fact of how Hernandez shot. He tried to go for the double leg. But when Sean Strickland moved back a little bit, he just gave up on it. He didn't attempt to get it like all the way. He did not put the pressure. He did not really try to get that takedown. Hamza Chimaev is different. He will try. You can move back a little bit all you want. Take 2, 3, 4 steps. Take all the steps you want. He's going to back your ass up to the fence and then shoot on you. And then he's too strong. He's too good. He's the best grappler, best wrestler in the UFC currently, and I think in history. And I think this guy's a next level talent. And I just don't see anybody in this division. I do not see anybody in this division beating Hamza Chimaev. Nobody at all. I can't even see anyone taking him to a split decision, bro. Like I know. Oh, but look what Burns did to him in a close ass fight. Sure. When in 170, he looks way better in 185 now. He doesn't have to cut too much weight, and that weight cut was probably killing him, to be honest. Give me Hamza Chimaev, and I do think it's gonna be by finish, man. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I'm crazy, if you agree with all my picks. But have yourselves a wonderful day, and thank you for following me on this journey.